General, good morning.
You got my email?
Yes, sir. Very upsetting. His family will need our support.
Leave it with me. Everything in place?
Yes, sir.
I'll be at Cobra in an hour.
That should be fine.
Good luck today, Catherine.
Thank you.
Your dad here. I'm looking at a whole shelf of these Annabelle dolls. You didn't tell me there were different types. I've no idea what to buy her. Can you get back to me ASAP? Otherwise, I'm holding a time to sleep doll. It says here, you will hear her babbling when it is Betty buys. Call me as soon as you can. General Benson, you here for Cobra?
General Benson. Jack Cleary, I'm coordinating today. This way, sir.
Okay. Hold on a minute. Baby moves. What have I got? Well, does it matter? I mean,
General, they're asking for you, sir.
yes. All right, darling, I'll try. Yep. Bye-bye. I bought a time to sleep doll when I should have bought a baby moves. Apparently there's an important difference.
I'll see what I can do, sir.
Attorney General, good morning.
Good morning, Frank.
Minister.
General.
Ma'am. Congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you.
I'm going to talk you through the capture of Susan Danford, a.k.a. Aisha Al-Hadi. We have Danford.
But we can't enter the militia-controlled area.
No.
What's the plan, General?
Well, using the Reaper, we have the ability to strike a target with considerable accuracy. If you agree, Minister, we could eliminate her.
Absolutely not.
Ma'am, she's a member of Al-Shabaab and number 4 on our East African most wanted list.
I don't care about your list, General. I came here to witness a capture, not a targeted assassination.
George?
Yes, I'm sorry, Frank. I agree with Angela. The idea was to capture Danford, not kill her. This was the mission approved by the PM, and as Attorney General, that is what I came here to witness. We want her brought back to this country to stand trial.
Right. I'll put that to Colonel Powell. Well, this changes things.
All right, keep it.
What's the plan, Catherine?
We need to put a hellfire through that roof right now.
I told you they came to witness a capture, not a kill. Give me a capture option.
We no longer have a capture option. Any action on the ground will lead to an armed confrontation, which we will not be able to contain.
They're watching. Even with the vests, we need their approval for a strike.
Just tell them we've got Danford in our sights. I mean, that alone should justify using a hellfire. The vests are just a bonus.
Danford's a British citizen. They want her alive.
They cannot have her alive. Frank, I've tracked her for 6 years. This is the closest I've ever got. So we need to expand our rules of engagement right now to protect the civilian population. A hellfire through that roof is our most effective option.
We have to know that we're legally in the clear.
Yes, of course. I'm getting into that right now.
Benson?
Sir. Legal has advised me to refer up to the Attorney General. I need a quick answer, Frank.
Okay, I'll put that to him. George, those explosives mean there is an imminent threat of serious harm to the civilian population. Can we strike?
Well, given the new circumstances, I would say yes. Brian? There is a political as well as a legal call to be made here.
Yes, I'm quite aware of that, George.
We need a decision now, Minister.
Legally, we don't have a problem,
No, we don't.
but politically...
Do we have permission to proceed?
Well, you seem to be implying yes, George.
Thank you.
No,
Hold on a
that is
minute.
not what...
Hold on. This is a change of mission from a capture to a shoot to kill, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Are we all right with that? I'm sure we are not. There are 2 British citizens and an American as targets.
This mission has the full support of Kenya and the United States.
For a drone strike?
Yes, a missile fired from an RPA is part of an agreed contingency plan in circumstances like this. Do we have permission to proceed?
No. Such a plan should not have been signed off by the PM without the authority of Parliament.
Operational issues are not generally discussed at Cabinet and certainly not at Parliament.
I know the protocol. I'm talking about what should be happening.
Angela, in my view, all the legal criteria for an attack have been met. Namely, this is a military necessity, there is no reasonable alternative, and the force to be used is in proportion to the threat. That should answer your question.
It does not, George. Has there ever been a British-led drone attack on a city in a friendly country that is not at war?
General?
I do not believe so, no.
Then how can we sanction it?
I agree we are at risk of being perceived as embarking on a shoot-to-kill policy, but since all the legal criteria are sound, I believe we must allow this military action
Legally,
to continue.
we may be safe, but politically, we're walking into a minefield, especially with an American citizen involved.
Do I have permission, Minister?
Given the situation, that it is a change of mission, that it is now a missile attack on a British subject, 2 British subjects, and an American citizen, and in a friendly country, I think it is only right and proper that I refer this up to the Foreign Secretary.
Minister, you've heard the arguments. He hasn't.
And the rules of engagement mean that the Prime Minister has already approved it.
No.
Therefore, the Foreign Secretary's input should not be relevant.
No, the point is that I have not been party to any previous discussion with the Prime Minister about matters such as this, whereas the Foreign Secretary undoubtedly has. So actually, it is my duty to refer to him.
And what am I telling Colonel Powell?
Tell her to wait!
I'm sorry, sir. I'm trying to reach him.
Minister, the consequences of delay may be fatal to scores of civilians.
I'm well aware of that, General, but it is the proper procedure for me to seek his approval.
If these men leave now in separate vehicles, there are 2 vehicles outside, we have the ability to follow only one. We have only one eye in the sky.
Surely you have agents on the ground who could intercept?
Intercept a suicide bomber on a city street. We're trying to minimize collateral damage.
Sherman 5.
We need a decision, Minister. Right now.
Thank you. Thank you. I have the Foreign Secretary.
Without the approval of the U.S. Secretary of State.
Sir, the Secretary of State is in China.
Then track him down.
Foreign Secretary of General Benson here, with respect.
This has already been cleared at American presidential level. We have a situation here which could result in massive loss of life in the next 10 minutes.
Then use those 10 minutes and get the Secretary's approval. That is my decision, General.
I'll get onto the embassy in Beijing.
I'd better speak to them. Excuse me.
Okay. The Secretary of State has given his permission.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Minister. Benson,
Frank, may I speak to the Attorney General?
connect us to Colonel Powell. George, she wants to talk to you. Go ahead, Catherine.
Sir, our lawyer says the girl's presence has not necessarily altered the legitimacy of our operation, but he does need that confirmed.
Do we have an assessment of what might happen to her?
The targeteer assesses a 65 to 75% chance of fatal injury should we proceed. But he has also assessed a projected loss of life of up to 80 men, women, and children if the vests are detonated in an urban area. Now, that's a guess, of course, but we should assume they intend to target a crowded location.
A 65% assessment requires us to do whatever we can to enable her to be removed
We
from the
have
scene.
done what we can for her in the time available to us.
If we wait and they leave, we will no longer have control of the situation. We must strike now.
There is no law covering a situation quite like this. It's one thing to release a missile whilst the street is clear in the hope that it will remain so. It's quite another thing knowing that this girl will, at worst, be fatally injured, and at best, severely injured. So I'm sorry, I disagree with the assessment of your lawyer at Northwood.
Agreed.
I hope the fact that she's a sweet little girl is not clouding your judgment. Dozens of other little girls' lives are at stake if these men leave.
I'm sorry, we have a Miss Gillian Goldman from the White House asking to be patched through.
Who?
Gillian Goldman?
She's a senior legal advisor at the US National Security Council.
She's been briefed by the Secretary of State.
Put her through.
Good afternoon, and thank you for allowing me to comment.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
As the military members of your committee know, we have a point system that takes into account collateral damage to deduce what is and what is not a legal strike. And let me tell you categorically that the existence of this new circumstance does not push us beyond a legitimate military action. We are way off what we would consider a dispute in this matter.
Ms. Goldman, we have a somewhat different approach to the question of collateral damage.
Sir, you must act now. You have 2 men about to embark on a suicide mission. You have number 2, 4, and 5 on the President's East Africa kill list in your sights. And you are putting the whole mission at risk because of one collateral damage issue? I realize that this mission is your call, but there would be some mighty angry people here at the White House and at the Pentagon and out there in the world if you allow these people to leave and blow a shopping mall to Kingdom Come.
Sorry, we have the Foreign Secretary wanting to join.
Right, we appreciate your thoughts, Miss Goldman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Excuse my appearance. It's night here, and I have a bout of food poisoning.
Sorry to drag you from your sickbed.
That's quite all right. George, do I understand this correctly? There's a legal argument for waiting and giving this girl a chance to sell her bread.
Yes, there is, but conversely, it does not mean that there is not also a legal argument for releasing the weapon now.
Forgive me, I'm not sure that helps me.
Foreign Secretary, there is a military necessity for acting now. In our view, they'll be making a move from that house at any moment.
Gentlemen, what action is being legally recommended to me?
James, the legal argument is that we could wait, but we need not wait. And the military argument is that we should not wait. Right?
Exactly.
It's my recommendation that we should not delay in proceeding with this mission. If we don't act now, we risk losing the lives of up to 80 people.
You can only assume those deaths. What is certain is that if we do act now, this one girl will suffer.
And you would save her and risk killing 80 others?
Yes. I would save her and take that risk. That is what I would do.
Angela, is it you or me who will be invited onto the Today program to explain why we knew of the attack on a shopping center that killed 80 people but chose to do nothing to stop it?
You, James. But frankly, politically, I'd rather point to Al-Shabaab as murderers of 80 people shopping than have to defend a drone attack by our forces that kills an innocent child.
James, Angela makes a compelling point. If Al-Shabaab kill 80 people, we win the propaganda war. If we kill one child, they do.
So we don't do it.
She's got a customer.
I suggest you keep your eyes on the other screen. With respect, Foreign Secretary, are the lives of 80 people, including innocent children, really worth the price of winning the propaganda war?
General, if we go ahead, might footage of our attack be leaked?
Sir, the footage from the Reaper is completely secure.
General,
I would feel uncomfortable if we did not at least wait a little longer.
If we go ahead and footage is leaked, and this girl is killed,
then I think the country would be most disturbed.
Foreign Secretary, it is our task to make the right military decision. We cannot engage in an argument about possible future postings on YouTube.
with respect, General,
Revolutions are fueled by postings on YouTube. I think the consequences are such that we need clearance from the PM.
James, you have the authority to make a decision.
No, I'm telling you, you need to take it to him.
Sir, the PM is giving a speech in Strasbourg this afternoon and may not be easily interrupted.
I'll leave you to sort that one out, Jack.
Yes, sir.
I'll track him down.
What happened?
Battery.
Oh, for God's sake. Now we have no idea what they're doing.
I might have a solution. If my target here can calculate is coming in under 50% for collateral damage on the girl, do you think you can get approval your end?
Yes, I do. Battery. We have to announce to the people of Nairobi that we knew everything but did nothing.
We do not have to announce that we knew anything, General.
The PM asks that we do what we can to minimize casualties.
Bloody cow.
What do you think we're doing?
How do you interpret that, George? Minister, we cannot have military decisions dictated by government committees, nor can we put on hold a military operation at every stage for legal clarification. You tell us when to go to war, we conduct the war, you deal with the aftermath.
If only it were that simple.
In my opinion, that was disgraceful. And all done from the safety of your chair.
I have attended the immediate aftermath of 5 suicide bombings on the ground with the bodies. What you witnessed today with your coffee and biscuits is terrible. What these men would have done would have been even more terrible. Never tell a soldier that he does not know the cost of war.
Sir.
Oh. Thank you, Captain.